So those of you who do math, figure it out. But the beautiful stone, you notice the weeping willow that they put on so many stones in this place. All right.
Where is that now?
That is, I'm looking for a place to put it. That was at the back of my house right now. I want to put it somewhere. Where? I mean,
Why not put it at the East Bend Baptist Cemetery?
yes, I could. That's where do we have a picture? My family's buried in East Bend. There, okay, there's John Calvin McConnell. That's my great-great-grandfather, Mary Stewart McConnell, who was raised by the Crutchfields. That's their stone there, and she didn't die until 1902. The same year my father was born, my mother was born 2 years after that.
What cemetery is
East Bend
that?
Methodist.
The Methodist?
The Methodist, right in the
Oh.
middle. There's the East Bend
Yeah,
Cemetery.
yeah.
And in that cemetery, you will see Craig's, O'Neill's, Rouse, all the families from down there.
There's Piatt too there, is there?
On the other side,
Yeah.
there's no Piatts, and they're over in the Baptist cemetery.
Oh, I thought
I don't think there's any.
I thought I saw some on the other side of the church.
Yeah, the church is across the road, you know, I mean.
Yeah.
The Baptist church.
Yeah.
That's where the Piatts are buried. In this one, I believe you'll find so many of the local names there. But they're John Calvin McConnell, and he's buried, that's my great-great-grandfather. My great-grandmother, Bessie Baker, was the daughter of them. She was the 9th child. Keep in mind, man, they had kids in those days, you know. I thought my wife and I were setting the record having 5. That was only getting them started. My great-grandmother was the 9th child of John Calvin and Mary Stewart McConnell. Okay, and they're buried all around there. And you'll see Craig's, a lot of sheep. Wonderful to have sheep in the family. Yeah. There's Craig's. See? And there's a power plant. Hey, now you can see the Governor's power plant. There it is. This is also taken, that's a telephoto. That's there. Yes. Taken from the grave cemetery itself. And you can see the power plant. Now, thank God they didn't have to tear the church down and the graveyard too. And thank goodness for the Rabbit Hash Historical Society. Don, you guys are the ones that saved that church, didn't you? Bless you. And that church is well maintained. I donate to their fund every year to maintain it, to Stevens Boys. Right. I know that's who I send my check to. But they maintain that graveyard in very decent shape. That's the new section near the road in this old section. All right, and now here you see.
It's on the river, but it's a north bank of the river on the south side. In Boone County, it is the north bank.
Yes, this is in front of the church. That's the graveyard. You see the graveyard out to the side of the mark right there. And that's the road right there.
Bruce,
Yes.
why did they, I know why, but why would they say the north bank of the river? When I would say the north bank would be on the Indiana side.
Near here on the north bank of the river.
I mean, it's the north.
Yeah. Oh, well, that river turns so many times. Hell, I think it might end up being north.
It could be.
Yeah. I mean, look at how it goes. Yeah, it would be the north side. Yeah. It would be the north side of the river because it turned east, you see, and so that would make the north side. Okay. All right. Let's see. On the other side you have Canby. Yeah, there's Canby. And as it mentions, he was born in the cabin there on Robert Piatt's farm by his daughter Elizabeth Piatt. And he accepted the surrenders of Richard Taylor and Kirby Smith in Alabama and Louisiana. The final surrender of organized troops in the Civil War. It wasn't Lee and Grant and Appomattox. E.R.S. Canby is who accepted the final surrender. But then he was killed in California in efforts with Modoc Indians. Okay. there we are. And there is, that's East Bend Bottoms today. That's Piatt's Landing today. And all it is a modern society we live in. We're furnishing valuable electric so that we can light up the world and pollute the atmosphere and everything else. But that is Piatt's Landing. It exists today. You have some pictures of this? Yes. It should. And also, this is a picture from the Indiana sign that Steve, bless his heart, took these pictures.
And actually, the river, because it's turning east, you're looking north.
Yes, see, that's why you can say the North Shore. That is north. That's the North Bank.
Right.
Yeah, that's why when you were looking at the house, you were actually looking north. That's why they said the north side. Because the river turned actually east.
And we've reached our time limit, and I can go back to John James Piatt's quote. In our quick west, the ruthless plow spares none, dear landmarks to displace. Well, these plows have turned into bulldozers and cranes and everything else. A lot has been displaced, and all that can exist now is in our memories and what we can treasure from the past. And our family connections. I'm so pleased with the Hodges. And Eric, hold it up. So that they're, you know, so some of the people. Now, who did this sketch? Where did this sketch come from?
Actually, it was done by a lady. That sketch is a copy of a sketch of from a poet, artist, lady in Cincinnati. I'm not sure what her name was.
And at least she got some barns in there. See, when by the time these other pictures, there was nothing left.
That's approximately what the house looked like, probably in late 50s, early 60s.
And Don Clare brought up some fine early pictures of the house in its deteriorated state before it was destroyed, right, Don?
That was from the Army Corps of Engineers.
And let me just share one personal moment of sorts of when the power company was trying to dicker with the fiscal court about tearing this down, and I was telling the fiscal court, hey, you don't want to tear this thing down. I mean, and to them too, don't let them do it. Well, they took all the members of the fiscal court, including me, to dinner at Summit Hills and bought them all steak dinners and said, now don't you guys really think you shouldn't stand in our way and keep us. That's the truth. It really happened. Not as cruel perhaps as I'm making it to be, but they took us to dinner and they paid for it, and the fiscal court said, okay, tear it down. That happens in this day and age. And what could we have stopped, you know? I don't think we could have stopped them anyway, because their real estate agent was Gene Snyder, the congressman. He got the commission for selling it to the power company. He also got a commission selling them coal, but I don't want to get into that. But he was not only a coal broker and a real estate agent for the power company, he was our congressman. But he did resign when he could still take the $1 million campaign funds with you when he left office. He was a very competent politician, let me say. And I kind of besmirred him to you because I didn't have a good feeling about him. But there's no question he was a good politician and a smart businessman. Okay, that's about all I can say about all of this. Say to do come up and look at any of these pictures. Don? Yeah, the family.